Like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Analysis: what China's population decline means for the future of the country. Please have more babies. This is China's message to couples after decades of limiting most families to just one child. Why the turnaround? The reason is that birth rates have now declined for 6 straight years, which is what happened in the past year has led to a population decline for the first time since the 1960s. The working age population had been shrinking for years before the historical overall decline, and a quarter of the population is projected to be aged 60 or over by 2030. This threatens the economic growth that based on an enormous labor supply, not to mention there may not be enough able-bodied people to care for all these seniors. The result is that China's economy could struggle to overtake the US in size, and the country could lose its status as the world's most populous to India this year. The Bureau decided in 2021 to allow all couples to have a third child, 5 years after changing its one-child policy to allow women to have two. The switch to 2 children initially worked. The number of newborns was 17.9 million in 2016, a jump of more than 1 million compared to the previous year. After that, however, births fell each year to 9.56 million in 2022, the lowest level since at least 1950. Some regions have begun offering couples incentives to have children, ranging from extended parental leave to grants and baby loans. Shenzhen, which borders Hong Kong, is working on plans to subsidize parents until their children turn 3. If the decline in the number of working-age people causes the number of people actually working to fall, it may increase labor costs in China and increase the price of manufactured goods. With fewer people starting families, long-term demand for homes would also likely be impacted, impacting demand for commodities like iron ore. The government could also struggle to pay its underfunded national pension system. All of this could hamper the long-term growth potential of the economy if government policies to encourage fertility do not take effect. There could be repercussions outside the country. Fewer children, for example, can reduce the number of Chinese students seeking education in the US, Australia and elsewhere. The decline will be difficult to reverse even after the government ends its one-child policy. A traditional fondness for sons led many Chinese parents to abort female fetuses. The male-to-female ratio has reached 120 to 100 in some provinces. The sex ratio at birth has stabilized at around 105 in recent years, but the ratio remains elevated above 110 in some regions, such as Guangdong and the tropical island of Hainan. Nevertheless, the total population grew to over 800 million in the late 1960s. In the 1970s, China faced food and housing shortages. In 1979, their leader, Deng Xiaoping, decided to limit most couples to just one child. To enforce them, women were pressured into having abortions, according to Human Rights Watch. Children born outside the state plan were not allowed to have their Youku estate registration required to access some benefits. Changing the retirement age could solve some of the problems. The country has kept it at 60 for men and 55 for women employees for more than 4 decades, even as life expectancy has increased. Raising the age is being discussed again, but as in other countries, such a move is a very unpopular policy, and there was a backlash when it was considered a decade ago. In addition to ending restrictions on the number of children, officials must build support for families, including preschools and schools, as well as financial incentives or tax breaks. Time and financial concerns mean that many couples feel they can only afford one child if at all.